and feel like
Good evening, you all. It is a late night, but I had to come and drop down on you all and talk. How many of you all were just at the Verzuz battle for Stephanie Mills and Chaka Khan? How many of you guys were actually there? It was literally, listen, I see Bless Watkins. I see you out there, Queen, talking about you at bingo listening. Guess what? When I started, I was at bingo. Bless Watkins is on the West Coast. I'm over here on the East Coast. I was at bingo when I first started watching. Baby, we got a lot to talk about. Welcome to Kitchen Table Talk Live with SpillitBoyTV. Listen, I'm not, it's too late. It's too late. I actually had some talks with myself and I said, now go on and be nice and don't say nothing too out of the way. And then I said, what is the name of the show? Kitchen Table Talk with SpillitBoyTV. So what I do, what I commit to doing is saying the things that you say when you're at your kitchen table. This had me so distraught. I was in here watching it in the living room on the television, and I couldn't even go to the kitchen table. I was supposed to come down and talk about this tomorrow along with Lady Nika. I ain't got time to be waiting on Lady Nika to be catching those Z's. Nika in the audience, but Nika's in the bed already. So me and Lady Nika are going to definitely get together and collaborate and do our thing tomorrow over at her channel. It'll be mid-afternoon, early evening. We're going to get together and we're going to do our thing together. But right now, I got to go ahead and say some things that she don't need to be held accountable for anyway. I got to say what it is I got to say. Now, she'll say, don't do me. Girl, that's what I have for Chaka. Chaka, don't do me. Girl. Ciao. Thank you, Kimberly D. You say, thank you for going. Wait, here we go. Thank you for going live. I needed to talk this through. Definitely needed some kitchen table talk. Baby, listen. You all seen the title. James, that was me that gave you a shout out on the IG Live. Oh, child, listen. It's too much. I started this down to the bingo hall. Something told me, because I said, I'm not going to bingo. I'm going to stay home. And I'm going to just, take the day and just watch the whole thing. And then something said, go on and do this. They never start on time. So we're going to start there before Chaka even pulled her stunt. Thank you, Miss Portia. You say I got to get up in a couple hours, but damn, Chaka. Listen, I'm over there. I said, they're not going to start on time, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing. And sure enough, when the actual battle got started with them, I was in the parking lot of the bingo hall pulling out to head home when those two walked on stage, which was ridiculous. Thank you, Miss Tori. It was ridiculous that I sat through a rap DJ battle at an old school R&B Verzuz. Now, when we started around 9 o'clock, because I swear that they were saying 8 o'clock at first, then it switched to 9. When we started this about 9 o'clock, I was sitting there and I said, chill, because of course I'm at a certain age. Y'all know I'll be 50 in January. Okay, so I said, don't do too much. Don't do too much, old head. Verzuz is very much a creation of the young people. It's for the young people, by the young people. Gotta respect it. Gotta love them. I'm here for it, and I don't ever really want to be our parents like that. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. You know, I want to respect the space. I want to respect the space. I don't want to be that old crotchety, you know, nobody want to be no old crotchety. Or, thank you, Miss Tori. Would you say, first of all, the aunties should have started these shenanigans at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Well, it actually was, because what, 9 o'clock? It was like 6 o'clock. It's like 6 o'clock because they were in Cali. So it's like 6 o'clock. So it was really good timing for them, but it didn't start. Like, they didn't start. They didn't start. And I talked about this on Kitchen Table Talk Live yesterday. And I told you all, and I ain't taking that back. I told y'all, see, I'm going to get comfortable, child. I'm not at the kitchen table. I'm over here in the living room. But I told y'all it wasn't going to be a battle. I wasn't going in looking for a battle. And I still don't feel as though there was a battle. There was everything that I'm saying bad. There was a sisterhood, which is what I came to see. I came to see a celebration of two sisters, two soul divas, really showing how things were when I grew up, how the performers were when I grew up. I thought this was going to be a lesson to the young people. And that's where I kind of held it. And I said, okay, well, young people, y'all do y'all thing. So I wasn't fussing about the not getting started thing. I was like, okay. I just kept chipping my boards and doing my thing and being cool. Well, we expected her to be somewhat sober. I ain't get there yet, Nika. Slow down. I ain't done fussing about the startup. So here's the things that I had issues with. A DJ battle. I don't care nothing about no DJ battle. And we did one part of a DJ battle. I sat through that quiet. Then they go into another part of a DJ battle. And they tell me, we're going to give you 7 minutes and we're going to give you 7 minutes. Well, wait a minute. 7 minutes for her and 7 minutes for her is another 20 minutes. When y'all get done talking and messing up and not getting started and false starts, that's going to be at least another 20 minutes. So I was like, all right. And this is what was really irritating me. Why are we playing music of the Verzuz contestants or honorees or guests? Chaka and Stephanie's music should not have been being played by the DJs at all. Because now, you know, people are finicky. You know, this is what I do. I do the internet. I do videos. And though I love you all, y'all know I love y'all like a fat kid loves cake with a whole bunch of icing. Y'all know that. But at the same time, you all know that I understand that y'all are probably some of the most fickle people that are actually in my daily life. Y'all are very fickle about your entertainment. And guess what? That is your Pennsylvania privilege. Because together, we make this thing work. I tell you all the time, I didn't build the channel by myself. I built the channel with some ideas of mine, getting to know you all, you getting to know me, and then we have figured out a little formula for what works, what I do that keeps you entertained. I don't rub you the wrong way too bad, and you don't rub me the wrong way too bad. But y'all are fickle. Y'all are fickle. Y'all have a specific way that y'all like things. Y'all have a specific way that y'all accept things. And there's another way where y'all don't accept things. Y'all be like, no, James, that ain't working. And then I have to respect it. This is what we do down here. So I sat there and I said, this ain't working. And I started reading the chat. See, because at first I was on the IG page of Verzuz, and I was looking at those comments, and I started seeing a specific group of people becoming very irritated. And that were the onlookers that were in a certain age group, my age group, and the age group above mine. The people who are, some of them literally got people that got them on Instagram to be able to watch. Some of them just started their Instagram today to be able to watch. There's a specific group of people that give less than a damn about Instagram and how Instagram works, about Facebook and how Facebook works, about YouTube and Triller and any of that stuff. That group, they are a small but very important group that are not to be written off. And I said, y'all are screwing up. You're screwing up for anything that you're going to be doing coming forward. There were some production issues going on that shouldn't have been going on. There was some camera stuff that was that far back pan. They were paying back so far, it became an irritant to people. When the DJs, they might have felt better about the DJs if they could have actually seen them. Beverly Barnes is beautiful. She's beautiful. And a lot of people don't even know that Beverly DJs, but she's beautiful. You'd have felt better if you could have actually seen her. You couldn't see her. You couldn't really even see a silhouette of her. You know, because there's something about a DJ. You know, last night a DJ saved my life. A DJ is actually a celebrity in their own right. You can have a DJ is one of the people in the world that could be absolutely butt ugly. He could be butt ugly, but he'd be the one that all the girls want because there's something about a DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ, you can get me started. He could be just as ugly. All night, all night. You know how much booty the DJ gets that he wouldn't get if he didn't spend? Just on the street, child, you would be like, child, if you don't get out my face, child, trust me. And that's in every walk of life, hetero and homo. Child, we be enamored with the DJ too, child. We'd be like, oh, the DJ. So listen, that didn't work. And I saw this group of people becoming very irritated. And then there was comments about, why are they playing their songs? What are they doing? What is this? And then when it went on and on and on, it got to be a very bad irritant. And I started watching some numbers. There were some numbers that were dwindling. There were some numbers that were dwindling, and some people that said, I'm just come back. And you know they're not coming back. You know they're not coming back. Some of them will never come back. That little display right there is going to be an issue. If y'all decide to do a versus battle that's like Jeffrey Osborne and Peebo Bryson, there's that group of people. You need them for that. And chances are they won't come back. They won't come back. So that was my first issue. Okay. But I said, all right, no problem. Okay. So once the show got started, I said, all right, by this time I'm in the parking lot. of the bingo hall. And I'm like, let's get on with it. And the start, where were the intros? The intro that was just horrible. That wasn't no good intro. This girl is on fire. I'd have bought it if they had Alicia Keys actually singing it. I'd have bought it. But just to throw that on in the midst of that DJ mess, and then they both come just walking on. I was like, that was very cheesy. That wasn't planned. That just happened. Now, this is my thing. You know, I usually take a little minute. I take a little minute to see what's going to be said and what's going to happen before I just jump out. But I couldn't. I couldn't go lay down. I told you I was supposed to do this video with a friend of mine. And she's going to lay down. She laying down. She over there laying, typing right now. She over there typing and laying down. But I couldn't go lay down because it was on me. There was too much for me to say that was just on me. Good and bad. So here I am. They come out. Let's start with this. Both of them look fantastic. Both of them look fantastic. I said, oh, Chaka. Because, you know, Chaka is known for a raggedy head. You know, it's always a big wig, but it's not just a big red wig. It's big and it's raggedy. That's what she's known for. Chaka's hair was cute. I loved the outfit. I loved it. It was so sharp, so like everything was age appropriate and fly as hell. They really look good. I was like, wow, y'all look so nice. And that whole, the mix of like good fabric and leather, good leather. You see how Stephanie's jacket was nice leather? That Obi that Chaka had on. Stephanie's outfit was cool. Chaka was clean as hell. Let's just get that right on out there. Chaka's outfit was everything. That Obi and that beaded pant and jacket with the top was everything. She looked fabulous. That was one of the best outfits I've seen Chaka in a long time. Chaka looked really good, and her hair was cute and on brand for Chaka. Stephanie's always fly. She's always fly, and she was on brand. It was very, very Stephanie. I loved it. I loved how they looked. You could tell they talked about it, you know, and all that. They came out, and I'm like, boom, let's go. Right from the beginning, I knew where we were going. I said, oh boy. See, Chaka is not a new individual to this type of foolishness. When you've been around as long as I've been around, you hear the stories. This is not Chaka's first time clowning. Let me give you a little history lesson that was recent history. When the Queen laid down on us, when the Queen transitioned, Chaka was singing. Y'all remember at the funeral? When Chaka had her lyrics written on the back of her fan? I didn't say much. I didn't come down here and say too much because I wanted to be respectful. Because Aretha Franklin was taken away from us, and I just wasn't going to overshadow what was really going on and the fact that a living legend was being taken away from us and we were celebrating her life. I wasn't coming with my foolishness in that moment. But Aretha is done gone on up yonder. Miss Chaka, girl, you know you went in there clowning to that funeral and you ain't know your words, and you had your fan and you had the words written on the back of the fan. It was one of the tackiest things that I've ever seen. It was one of the tackiest things I'd ever seen, especially for a person that was, everyone who actually sang at that funeral were specific people who were held to a really high standard and a high regard. Anybody didn't just get to go sing at Aretha's funeral. You know, Aretha was shady as hell. She probably had a list that she made herself of who she wanted to sing at that funeral. Aretha Franklin, child, Riri was something else, honey. Riri was something else. Ask Patty. Go ask Patty, honey. Ask her. Do Riri play with the girls? Riri do not play with the girls. Honey, you be sitting up there with all that cute stuff with Riri, and Riri will give you this, honey. Who is she? Yes, she will. Right while you think you fierce, honey. Riri will let you have it, honey. So, her to have those words on the back of that fan, a mess. Now, I know in the past, Chaka has had some issues, allegedly. This is all allegedly. With substance abuse in the past. She's had some issues. And I always kind of question, she's still battling. I mean, because you kind of battle, you know, when you have some issues, you battle. But tonight looks like she ain't winning the battle. Girlfriend came out there and truly, I just wrote, it took me a minute because I wasn't going to write it in my title, but I did. I wrote it in my title and I ain't changing it. And I ain't apologizing for it. Straight from the stage to the Betty Ford Clinic. When you watch this in the playback, Chaka, you need to get up from wherever you are and straight to the Betty Ford Clinic because it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It was scary. It was scary. It wasn't funny. Well, for a minute it was. For a minute it was like, oh, no, she ain't coming here like this, child. But after a while, I'm looking at her. She was messed up. She was messed up. It reminded me of her being messed up the way she used to be messed up back in the day. Now, I was younger, and I remember a story circulating around, allegedly, because I wasn't at the concert. I was young. She was with Rufus at this point, and that's when she was really in the height of her. Chaka came to, at that time, what was called the Stanley Theater here in Pittsburgh. And this is the story tells that Miss Chaka came to the Stanley with Rufus. They were doing their thing. Chaka came sort of like what happened tonight. And it was given very this. Or something of that nature, allegedly. And before it was all over, Chaka actually fell off stage. Allegedly. Again, I was young. I was young. So I wasn't at the concert. But I always remember hearing the story when I was younger about Chaka Khan and her doing this. So I said, wow. And then as I grew, I've always heard stories of her having these different battles with substance. So tonight, it didn't throw me way off. It was like, wow, really, Chaka? Really? And I'm going to say this. Stephanie Mills deserves the MVP. See, I said it wasn't a battle. I said this yesterday on KTTL, that this wasn't going to be a battle. And people were already doing this. And I really didn't want to go there with the Chaka Khan fans. If you watch the video from yesterday, you'll see that I ain't want to go there with the Chaka Khan fans. But, oh, no, she's going to. I said some things about Stephanie. Don't count Stephanie out, you know, because they were already getting geared up to say, Chaka's going to smash Stephanie. And I knew from the door. I know from the door, see, because I'm a huge Stephanie Mills fan. I like Chaka. Always have. I perform both of their music. I love them both. But I'm a huge Stephanie Mills fan and have been since I was a little boy. And I know Stephanie Mills, and I know how she gets down. And I knew from the door, even if they were completely sober, to both of them, Chaka was never going to outperform Stephanie Mills. It was never going to happen. Entertainment-wise, Chaka Khan was never going to do nothing with Stephanie Mills. She can't. She can't. Though she is a beast vocally, though her catalog is more extensive, entertainment value, Chaka Khan can't do a damn thing with Stephanie Mills on stage live. She can't. She can't. She can't. So, I knew that from the door. But I had no idea she was going to come here and give me stumbling drunk. Allegedly. Because I don't know if she was drunk. I don't know if she was high. I don't know. And I will keep my ear. Y'all know if I am wrong about something, if I find out that there is something that actually went on in the background, you know it will come out. And I will come back and I will do whatever type of apology or cleanup that needs to be done. Because I don't have, you know, I do the cleanup. And if I need to clean myself up, I'll clean me up. But I don't think so. I think the one that needs cleaned up is Chaka. And I don't think that I can do it. I think Betty need to get hold of Chaka and clean her up, honey. Because she was a mess tonight. And it got to a point as we watched that I went through a whole emotional roller coaster with Chaka tonight, where I got a little tickled first. It's like, man, look at this drunk ass. And then I went to, okay, now you're kind of scaring me. You're kind of scaring me. You're kind of stumbling around. And now I'm fearing for your safety. Then you leaning all over on Stephanie. Neither one of y'all are young chippies. Y'all aren't young girls. So now you're starting to scare me because I don't want you falling on her. You know, Stephanie Mills is a very small woman in stature. She's very small. So you're starting to scare me because now you're starting to become like this liability in this little situation. And then it got to a point where then you start getting on my nerves. You start getting on my nerves because then you start babbling and shit. And ain't nothing worse than a babbling drunk. That whole situation when Stephanie was trying to sing home and you was doing all that babbling over there, I said, girl, you doing too much. And then you became that erratic drunk individual, allegedly. Toward the end, where you was getting ready to walk off, and they're like, girl, wait a minute. You heard that, Lamone? She sure did. Fuck this shit. At the end, she was done. You became the old ignorant drunk. Old ignorant drunk ass that was just done with the whole situation. I said, look at her. So I walked off totally disgusted with you. You sent me on a complete emotional roller coaster. Now, I cheered for you all throughout all of it because they were playing my songs. And there was so much more to be done. They didn't get to do the costume change like, you know, the other women did when they did their thing, like Patty and Gladys. There's no way. They couldn't have, it wouldn't, that would have just been horrendous. If they tried to do like a half mark and do a costume change and come back, that would have just been horrible. But it wasn't even possible because Stephanie Mills carried the whole show. Hell, Stephanie was tired at a point. She's singing your song, she's singing her songs, and Stephanie came for it. Did you notice that in about half of Stephanie's songs, she brought backing tracks and she actually performed her songs. She wasn't singing over her songs. Stephanie Mills came in there and gave you all the same show that Gladys Knight came with. Gladys came for it. Stephanie came for it. And I'm glad she did, because you all realize that Stephanie was the one that was very hard to actually get booked for this. Because I told y'all a little bit of the story of how when they first approached them with this and things fell through, and then Stephanie said she would never do it. So there was a whole lot of elbow rubbing and a whole lot of ass kissing that had to take place for her to get there. So with Stephanie kicking up that type of dander and that type of dirt, she had to perform at the level that she performed at. But that's what she does. If you get to know her, that's what she does. She talks some stuff, but she's about it. She really is about it. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. People are going to drag Chaka. It's just going to happen. We're going to hear Chaka be dragged all day tomorrow on the internet. I'll be very shocked if she's not. She's going to get dragged. But my prediction of what's going to happen, Stephanie is going to drag all of us that drag Chaka, because that's how Stephanie Mills is. Stephanie Mills is very outspoken, and if she's your sister, she's your sister. And everything you've seen tonight, she is very much Chaka Khan's sister. She did not use Chaka's down as a way to run over her with this. She literally picked her up, put her on her back, and carried her through this whole thing. At no time during this whole situation did she ever throw shade at her. Did she ever make her feel any kind of way? Did she oversing, or did she not allow her? Because Chaka was butting in on her songs and messing up, and at no time did she ever stop her or give her a dirty look or none of those things. She did none of that. There was no shade thrown in this whole situation at all. Stephanie showed you who she was at the very beginning when she came out and she said, okay, she set up for her first song and it wouldn't play. And she said, well, the first song was going to be Come On In, he's on down the road. And she went on and she sang, don't you carry nothing that might be alone. Ain't no thing, because we all know it. She sang it and kept it right on moving. And then they were like holding up, because, you know, it gets a little tense, that little verses, because it's a versus battle. So I felt the tension of like the DJs right then, like, uh-oh, so her song didn't play, so we can't just like, and she was like, no. Chaka's stuff is good. Go on and play it. Did y'all catch that? She said, go on and play it. Chaka's stuff was working. Chaka had Beverly Bonds as her DJ. And Chaka's shit was on point. Chaka didn't know the lineup of her music. She was literally just there. I'd be willing to bet some money the late start had something to do with Chaka. I'd be willing to put some money down on it. That late start they got off to, I promise you, I swear it had something to do with Chaka. Just everything about what Chaka did. And everything was a mess. Even when her daughter came out, she was a mess. I was like, and I had to look at her real good. And I was like, because I haven't seen her in so long. And I was like, oh, that's the baby. Okay. And I seen her. I was like, okay, that's Chaka's daughter. But she was a mess. She was a mess. And she's like, oh, you just walked away. Nothing seemed. I saw Stephanie Mills on Instagram at Soundcheck earlier. Stephanie did this the way Stephanie does business. She was about business. And one of the most beautiful pieces of the whole thing was when Stephanie had her son come out and she told him, come on, dance with your mama. First of all, you knew it was going to get us all because, one, she kind of does that in her concerts. When she does her concerts, since he's got to be older, he's always with her. He's always on the road with her. And she always brings him out. And when she does, I never knew love like this before, she, there's a special thing with him and her. But then with the fans with the LGBTQIA, there is now a whole new connection to her in that song because of Miss Candy on Pose. As soon as the LGBTQIA hears the song, we already on something. And when she brought the baby out, child, told him, come on and dance with your mama, child, I was more water on my face than in this cup, honey. Glass cup. The fact checkers are watching. It's a glass. It was beautiful. I thought that was one of the most beautiful parts of the whole situation. And even Chaka in her state, when Chaka just embraced her and was like, oh my God, like, I love you for that. And then told her, I want to meet him. Did y'all catch that? It was beautiful. That was a beautiful moment. That was one of those once in a lifetime moments where it was reality TV at its best, child. That was beautiful. It really, really was. And it was nice that Chaka's daughter came up, but she was a mess. She was a mess. But the funny part about it was cool because the way she's dressed, ain't that how Chaka used to dress? Chaka used to be having some crazy stuff on. You be like, Chaka, what you got on? So she truly is the spitting image of her mom. Spitting image of her mom. She should be very proud of herself still. Even though her mama was a mess tonight, there's something to be said about being an adult now and your mother being held in that regard and you being able to be on stage and do a little bit with your mom. That I thought that was really cool, but she did look a mess. All was good. Prayer for Chaka. Stephanie 8. Chaka voice is there. Catalog there. Chaka wasn't. This could have been epic. And I still think it was, Dr. J. Thank you for the super chat. That's Jay Wilson, you guys. Thank you. I still, all wasn't lost. There's still people that didn't know stuff that know stuff. And then us talking about it is going to still help. So all was not lost. Was it a key? Yes. Was there like, girl, why'd you do it like this? Yes. But all wasn't lost because how many young people do you know that didn't know A Night in Tunisia? Of course, I know A Night in Tunisia, but everybody don't know because again, that breaks into her jazz roots. Because I was like, what's she getting ready to do now? Soon as I heard, I said, I know she ain't getting ready to try to play with Night in Tunisia with all this drunkenness or highness or whatever she got going on. Because I said, when she gets to this whole little scatting part, I was like, child, hopefully they just cut it off. But we did do some of it, honey. I was like, oh my God, honey. I was like, oh. Ba, ba, da, da. Ba, 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 ba. I was like, Chaka. So, but she pulled it off. She did pull it off. She kind of worked through it, and it was cool. But she started to get into the irritable drunk stuff, allegedly. Right around when Stephanie sang Feel the Fire. Feel the Fire. And they wanted her, because Beverly, I think it was Beverly that was saying, you should sing Through the Fire. And she's like, Through the Fire ain't no joke. Through the Fire is not a joke. There's nowhere to move in that song. It's a beautiful piece of music. And there's nowhere to move in the song. There's nowhere to move. You got to sing it. You got to sing it straight out, and you can't mess up. You can't mess up. Through the Fire don't give you nothing. It takes talent, actual talent to do it. And I think that she knew, like, girl, I ain't messing with that tonight, honey. I love Secret Lady. Stephanie did. First time hearing it. Now I want to go back through it and the whole category. Oh, absolutely, Mr. 6'8". Secret Lady is actually one of my songs that I actually do from Stephanie Mills. It's yeah. Go pull it up and really, Mr. 6'8", you come in close to the screen. You listen to it very close. You understand? Listen very closely. And then you can send me a message and we'll laugh. Anyway, yeah, Secret Lady is the shit. That's the shit. But and listen, I got a lot of the stuff that I wanted. A lot of the stuff that I wanted. I told you all yesterday, I was like, watch, she's going to go into her disco stuff. And didn't she? Put your body in it. I said, oh, come on, Stephanie. When she hit that, baby, I said, what y'all know about a little bit of disco, honey? I tried to tell y'all, honey. I tried to tell y'all. What you gonna do with my loving? Ease right into the 80s. Then that whole put your body in it, dancing, keep on dancing, non-stop, no. That was a bad song. That's why I was laughing at that. I loved the camaraderie, the two of them, when that was playing, because Stephanie was like, she had false starts, because she's like, where do I come in at? And it was like, she's like, oh, shoot, this is the 12-inch version. And I was laughing because I was like, girl, you know that's the long version they play. So she was trying to figure out where she comes in at. And I was laughing. And she said it. She's like, child, oh, this is the 12-inch version. And when Chaka said, girl, do it all. Because she was feeling it too. Child, because that brings a whole, baby, the disco era. Y'all got to get into it. I'm telling you, Stephanie Mills is not a joke. She is really underrated. You talk about unsung, it's Stephanie Mills. Donna Summer is not our only treasure when it comes to disco music. Stephanie Mills got some hot little tunes, baby, that used to play in the disco clubs, honey. Down here in Pittsburgh in the 2001, honey. I couldn't wait to get old enough to go to the 2001. And then by the time I got there, it was closed. It was closed. We Are You Radio. Welcome. Welcome. Stephanie killed it. However, Chaka is still our queen. Her crown is just a little upside. Absolutely. 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 She took me through, like I said, she took me through a whole range of emotions. But again, what she's done, is undeniable. But again, when she did Night in Tunisia, I was glad she did that because I didn't think that would actually make the list for this. I told you all I'm actually doing, well, I told y'all a little bit about it, but Saturday here in Pittsburgh, I'm actually booked. I'm doing a show that is a versus type of battle where it's old school drag versus new school drag. And actually she did my song because I actually am using her song. I wake up to the feeling each morning, go to bed to it at night. I know you, I love you is actually the song that I'm actually doing from her on Saturday. And when she did it, I was over here screaming. I was like, girl, now you talking. But again, I was glad that they cut it because the vocal at the end of I Know You, I Love You is nothing to be toyed with, period. So I was kind of glad they cut her off before she even got over there. And I'd have really been looking at her, honey, like, girl, what are you? Child, now Miss Chaka don't play, but I was glad they played that. And I see the people in the audience was going in because that is one of those songs. When you hear it, that's again right in that little disco era. When you hear it, baby, you just be child. The place goes up. The place goes up. But I'm actually doing that song Saturday for that little function, so that's gonna be fun. I don't know. I still enjoyed myself. I was, again, range of emotions with Chaka. She's irritating me Then she did the whole draw. Toward the end, she just lost me altogether. And when she was leaving, she was getting to the point where she was getting unprofessional at that point, and I didn't like it. Stephanie definitely worked. She worked. She worked for whatever she got, whatever endorsements that will come from this, whatever extra streaming sales, whatever extra fans or resurgence of fans, whatever she gets in a positive light from this, she deserves it times over because she carried a whole Verzuz battle all on her own, as far as I'm concerned. And she was a woman. She was a true Black queen tonight. She was. She didn't throw shade at her sister. She didn't make her sister feel no kind of way. She really didn't. She again, Stephanie Mills, girl, class act, honey, class act. But I enjoyed it. I really did. And there's some more stuff with Stephanie. If they could have did like a second half, did like the half and the second half, because we didn't hear the medicine song. You know, I was looking for the medicine song. Having a little bit of this medicine. I was looking for just a little touch up. That's my jam. I was looking for that. When she did Where's the Love, I gagged. And Two Hearts, because she has some of the best old nasty pieces of duets. Oh, yes, God, honey. Two Hearts, I was glad she did that. Yeah. Child, everybody don't get to sing no duet with no Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy Pendergrass, child, you're not going to sit over here and sing with no Teddy Pendergrass and think you're going to be just humming and carrying on. No, your ass is going to sing. So, yeah, I was like happy about that. There's so many things. I really enjoyed it. They did pick some good stuff for Chaka, but there's so much more. Chaka got so much stuff that she wasn't even in the state to do it. Yes, Peebo Bryson, child. Only a few people could actually sing with Peebo Bryson. Regina Bell, Stephanie Mills. You know, if you're not there, just don't even mess with Peebo. Don't even mess with him. You need Melissa Morgan. You know, she did a lot of stuff with Kashif. Y'all remember Kashif? That's God, honey. But you need that type of vocalist that can actually get down there and growl with a male to be able to mess with a Peebo Bryson. You know what I mean? Or Jeffrey Osborne or Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah, it ain't no joke. Shoot. Rick James. Anybody can't just get down there and sing with Rick James. Child, you needed Tina. You needed Tina, Smokey, somebody like that. Somebody could really hang in there. Rick James was a vocal beast. Do you understand? A beast, that Rick James. He was nothing to be toyed with. But, you know, see, we're going somewhere else. You know, I could do this all night long. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't think all was lost. James Ingram. Oh, man. Yeah. All wasn't lost. It was good. Everything was good. But Chaka, you girl, like I said, straight from the theater, directly to the Betty Ford Clinic, honey. No stops. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. None of that, sis. Kashif. Love her, turn me on. Chat, listen, Kashif, he was just as cute with his little self. I always thought he looked like a little Monchuchi, doll, just as cute. I said, look at him, honey. And he was so talented. So talented. Ciao. But anyway, listen, I've said pretty much what I need to say for the moment. You all make sure you keep your eyes and your ears open. We'll do some advertisement when we lock the time down, but I will sit with my girlfriend, old OG, the lady Nika, and we will go over this together so we can go, we'll butt heads on some things because this was the cute part about us doing it together. quietly, Nika was actually rooting for Chaka Khan, and I was really rooting Stephanie Mills. So she was prepared to like argue with me, but she didn't say nothing. But I knew I was waiting for her. I was ready for her. But we're gonna do it. You know, y'all know how we do. We're gonna do it. Me and Nika, we're gonna butt heads tomorrow on this situation. But Chaka, girl, you heard what I said. So I was just waiting. I said, I hope. Oh, when she started doing them little knee dips, I said, girl, are you serious right now? I said, girl, please don't do it. Please don't do it. When she kept doing that little bending down, I was like, this is not getting ready to go well. I thought she was getting ready to give this, honey. I did not want to see that for her. I was like, oh, please, not today. Not today. We ain't got time for that today, Chaka. Don't start. Anyway, okay, so you won this bet. Yeah, well, see, again, no, we won. I still feel like we won. There was no battle. There was no battle. It was a concert with two sisters. One sister was under the weather, and the other sister carried her sister through. There was no battle. There really was no battle. And I didn't think there ever really was going to be one. That's just was going to be some banter between me and Nika, and we still going to have it. We still going to have that banter about them songs. And we'll just battle about what the songs are on the vinyls, not about what actually happened last night. But we're going to definitely get into it and get what Nika's feelings were about everything. But I just wanted to get it off my chest so maybe I could sleep now. Listen, I appreciate you all staying up with me, trying to see what it is that I have to say with my messy ears. And thanks for hanging out on KTTL with me. I appreciate it. I will catch you all on the flip side. Catch y'all next time. Have a good night.
And feel like